In the sharpest statement since US President Donald Trump announced a 25% tariff on Indian goods from the 7th of August, along with an unspecified penalty for its defense and energy imports from Russia last week, New Delhi has now hit back, saying the targeting of India was unjustified and unreasonable, and the country would take all necessary measures to safeguard its national interests and economic security. The Ministry of External Affairs issued a strong statement late on Monday evening, soon after Trump warned that he would raise the tariff on India substantially. Vishnu Shom has been tracking the latest for us. Listen in to his report.
India's sharp counter to what the US president has had to say in terms of sanctions on India for the continued import of Russian oil over and above any tariffs which will be put in place by the United States is quite striking, because very rarely have we seen statements from the External Affairs Ministry which are as sharp as this, particularly against the United States. But given the fact that Donald Trump continues to pursue through social media his entire belief that India needs to be punished in a sense for what we continue to do with regard to the import of Russian oil, New Delhi has now said that there are clear double standards between what the United States, specifically Donald Trump, preaches in this case and what the United States actually does. They've also said that when it comes to the import of energy from Russia, Europe continues to do that, and they've come out with a document and statistics. I'm going to get into that in a moment, but what India says, and this is particularly significant, is that the targeting of India is unjustified and unreasonable. Like any major economy, India will take all measures to safeguard its national interests and economic security. But I think it's the specific points which point to the double standards of the United States which are relevant. Delhi points out that where the United States is concerned, it continues to import from Russia uranium hexafluoride for its nuclear industry, palladium for its EV industry, fertilizers as well as chemicals. And therefore the question is, then why are you targeting us? And they've also gone into a great deal of detail on how the European Union continues to have bilateral trade with Russia despite the Ukraine war. With statistics in 2024, there was bilateral trade of 67.5 billion in goods with Russia from the European Union. Therefore, India, which has always had an autonomous foreign policy, wants to assert that, look, don't, target us unfairly. That's not correct. And I think India has made it clear that our policy of autonomy will remain primary to our foreign policy goals.
We live in complicated and uncertain times. Our collective desire is to see a fair and representative global order, not one dominated by a few. That quest is often articulated as political or economic rebalance. But I want to say this to you: obtaining respect and ensuring dignity for societies can also be achieved through cultural prowess, especially through cultural prowess. In that context, traditions are of particular value because ultimately they define identity. We must be assured about what we are if we want to be confident about shaping the future. For nations like us, traditions are truly a great source of strength.